go live. Cool. Wow. Loads of people there already. What's happening, guys? It's Kibla Ahmed out here. Hope you guys are well. Big shout out to the guys at Punch Records and Gallery37 for putting this together and getting me on the on this show so I can teach you guys a great masterclass on digital illustration and in comic books, guys, because that's my field. It's what I love. It's what I've been doing for such a long time. But it's tips and tricks. I'm gonna tell you what inspires me. I'm gonna tell you what I go through on a daily basis when it comes to practicing as well. But I'm gonna show you the tools that I use and kind of go from there, guys. I mean, today, as you know, it's a 2-hour stream. It's gonna go on for about an hour and a half, hour 45, and then we're gonna do a Q&A session. And I'm gonna introduce myself again for people that are probably coming on right now. But I have been doing digital illustrations for as long as I know, but I've been doing artwork for my whole life. And that's what has kept me pushing through to get this done. So I'm going to wait to see if there is more people coming. Stream makers time. Here we go. Cool. See a few more people to pop through and let me see the count go up. It'll be interesting to see how many people actually join. Exciting. But guys, I had so much comments before this and it's been overwhelming. So I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to be nervous. I'm going to get tongue-tied. I'm going to say all sorts of stuff, but please keep up with it. Ah, awesome. What's happening, Ijaz? Hope you're alright. But yeah, no, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn to my screen and I'm going to show you guys some of my artwork. And hopefully you guys get to see my face as well. Here we go, transition. So here we go, guys. Hopefully that will come through and you guys will get to see some of my artwork. So guys, as you guys have probably read with all the posts that went out over social media, I have been doing artwork for 10 years, but I've been doing it my whole life. Digital artwork I got into when I started doing photography, learning more about Photoshop and Illustrator, and I kind of went from there. Oh, bless you, man. Don't be nervous. Hopefully, with what I kind of put up on here, you guys get to see the process. That's the main thing, is to teach you guys, to inspire you, to motivate you guys. But yeah, as I was saying, more than 10 years, I've been doing digital artwork. A lot more recently, and I wanted to go through the types of tools that I use when it comes to doing digital artwork. So I've been doing it on my Cintiq, which is this massive tablet. If I could show you guys, that'd be awesome. And I use Photoshop, I use Illustrator, and I use an iPad as well, guys, for my digital artwork. So the iPad has opened up the world to all artists to carry something with them. I mean, before I used to carry a little notebook where I did all my sketches, which I still do. Without a doubt, I always keep a notepad in my bag, a blank one, and I get to do my artwork on there. And if I have any ideas, I'll always keep them noted and always push them through on that side. Let's transition into the notebook, because the notebook's actually quite important. It's something I'd say any artist, anybody who's interested in art, is to carry maybe their iPad with them, or keep a notebook or a blank pad with them, whether you get an idea suddenly. You be in the middle of nowhere. I mean, currently we're not going nowhere, but you know, I had days where I could go out and then suddenly have an idea and pop it into here. So it's a couple of sketches to go through, but I haven't finished this sketchbook yet, but I've got a couple of sketchbooks. It's something that I keep with me, and I'm always drawing. It's really important. It's quite close to me. It's where all your ideas and everything that you manifestate in your head is coming out on here, and it's so important to have your ideas written down, because what could happen is, you know, you don't have something there to put your idea down on, and then suddenly you've lost it and you forgot about it. What's happening, David? How's it going, Kelly? You alright? Brad? Awesome. Thanks for joining in, guys, so far. You guys are awesome. Guys, remember, Q&A session. About 7:30, 7:45, we'll jump into that. But notepad or an iPad. If you keep it with you with a pencil or you get all your ideas out. It's awesome. There we go. All right, let's get back to the art screen so I can show you some art. There we go. So these art pieces were done on my iPad, so I just wanted to share it with you guys just to show you how powerful that little device is. And with a bit of time and practice, I know for me it was a very hard transition from moving to paper to pencil to a digital tablet, but now I've seen the benefits of it. And when I read comic books, when I watch the comic book movies, and I see how colorful and punchy, and I'm like, how do I implement that into my artwork? And having a brief knowledge of Photoshop, which I'm going to show you guys because I do most of my artwork in Photoshop, on how much it's impacted on my artwork and how much better it's got, to be honest. It's made me take much more time with my artwork. It's made me schedule my artwork so I have time to put a piece together, and layering just helps so much. Mindlander. Looking forward to this, bro. Oh, thank you, guys. So let's keep up with this chat because I know it's going to grow. All right, cool. That was the first piece. Let's jump into... This is another piece that I absolutely love. And again, guys, most of this, except the Superman one, was done on an iPad. And that's a 7th gen iPad with an Apple Pencil. And it's an app called Procreate, which works exactly like how Photoshop works, really. It gives you layers, it gives you good colors, and it gives you good brushes as well. I've really enjoyed drawing on the iPad. It's been one of my fun tools to use. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Cool. Alright, so that was that. Let's come out of here. Alright, I'm going to go on to gestures, guys. Gestures are so important when it comes to getting your ideas on a piece of paper or when you're getting it into Photoshop. And it's so crucial to have this... Sorry guys, just getting this working. It's so crucial to have gesture drawings because it helps so much when it comes to actually laying out the image you want to get done. It's so important to know the space that you're working with so that you could get your images right. So it's just a few gesture drawings of people running, posing, jumping, doing their superhero stuff basically. But really easy sketch lines, so something easy to go through. I'm going to quickly, let me open up a new page so you guys can see what I do. Just to... Guys, really important information when you're opening up a new file, a new page, is to make sure that you've got the right pixels going on. It's so important to get that, because if you haven't got the right pixels, you're going to notice your imagery is really blurry. So you want to have it at least at 300 dpi. You're looking at an A4 size or 8 by 10 inches, and making sure that you're always double checking the brushes you're using as well. The brushes are important. Brushes will give you fluid motion in your artwork. So let's get this. And I'm just going to give you some practice tips, guys, because this really helped me when I moved from paper to digital tablet. So lines. It's so important to get your lines straight and getting your lines done. And it's once you do that, you're going to notice that you're going to get smooth lines all the time. So I was putting in almost 20 to 30 minutes a day on just doing lines. And Actually, they came out pretty good. I'm actually quite shocked that came out really well. But yeah, remember, lines is so important, guys. Let's open up another page. The color. Oh, wait. You gotta wait to the end to see all the colors. That's the most important part. But let me show you. So what I do, I always put everything in layers, guys. So hopefully you guys can get to see what I'm doing in my layers, which is at the bottom right hand corner of your screen. If you're watching, that's right. You're gonna be able to see the layers that I use. So if I've done one layer, and to be specific and something for you guys to always remember is to always label your layers, because that's when it gets confusing. Once you get past 20, you want to be labeling your layers, because you don't want to go back to try and fix a mistake and realize you have to go through more than 100 layers. It's such a crucial part to always name your layers, and that's in Photoshop, and you can do that in Procreate on the iPad as well, which is very important. So gestures, let's so I picked a light color, guys, and I've made a new layer. I am gonna just do a quick gesture pose, something straightforward, and hopefully you guys can see the line work that I'm doing on here. So it looks quite scribbly right now, but I am trying to understand how much of the page I'm going to use. Alright. I would say as well, guys, if you get the chance, when you're practicing, always copy. And that's how much I learned. My inspiration to art was from my uncle. It's my dad's youngest brother. I grew up with him. He's almost like my older brother. And the one thing he told me to do was, when it comes to practicing, is to copy, trace, understand the human body, and just practice. And I don't know, it could be mundane to do that. It is so important that you get the chance to understand the body in different formation and dynamic poses. It is so important for when you're doing a gesture drawing to get those key elements that you want to get involved in, and hopefully you end up coming up with an image where you can be really excited about. So I've realized I've gone out of the page a little bit, but I am just getting into this. So you can see pose, head, structures, guys, lines. I'm always using lines. It's so important. This will give you almost like perception, so you can kind of see your view of what you want. Let's go. Cannot wait to see the coloring. Do you use a drawing tablet when you do Photoshop, or you're using this on your laptop with a trackpad? Okay, so it's that for Frida. I'm actually using a Wacom Cintiq 22-inch with a pen. It's got touch on it as well. You know what? I'm gonna see if I can show you guys. Hold up. Let's make this interactive. Guys, apologies if I'm pronouncing names wrong. Here we go. Let's do this. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna transition into a larger screen. Hopefully you guys can get to see my pretty face. And hopefully I've got a bit of leeway to show you the device I'm working with. Okay. Excuse the background. Okay. I don't think you'll be able to see that, but can you probably can see it a little bit. It's a massive Wacom tablet. It's what all the pros use, and it's industry standard stuff, guys. The resistance on when you're sketching on it is just absolutely amazing. So you can get smaller devices. I've got a Wacom Mobile Studio Pro, which is about 16 inches, which is quite big, and it's reasonable. It's almost like A4 size, which is great. Hopefully that didn't disrupt the connection. What's your most favorite piece you've done, David? It's a piece. It's a Batman piece. Here we go again. We're gonna show some artwork again. So I'm gonna transition into my beautiful face. Okay. Actually, you know what? And the guy's actually on here. His name's Ahmed. He bought a Superman piece off me when I first got back into doing artwork, and that was, you're talking about 5-6 years ago, about 8 years ago, when I started to take up art more often, and I started on this Superman sketch, and it's been one of my favorite pieces. And he bought the original. So Ahmed, thank you very much for that, dude. And he bought the digital one as well, so where I digitally color it as well. But one of my favorite pieces, and it's still here, it's an original. There we go. In a frame, A4 size. It's one of my favorites, is of the Dark Knight himself, Batman. He's my favorite character. I think I transition between superheroes, but I always go back to the original, and that's Bruce Wayne as Batman, and it's one of my favorites. I absolutely love this. Ahmed, which part of the body should I start with to help understand? Which part of the body? I always start with the head, or as you saw in my sketch, doing the gesture drawing. I always started with the head. It's important for me to get that part of the image right before I kind of move on to the body. I'll always draw a little silhouette or a sketch of the actual body itself, but it's important to get the head first. I think I've always done that. It's a massive touchscreen, not a computer, and a draw. It's a drawing tablet, so it connects to my MacBook. So with this Cintiq, you can buy a PC to connect to it, so it runs by itself, and you put Photoshop or it's Pro Art Studios. I think it's a Pro Art Studios, Clip Art Studios, which used to be Manga Studios, which you can preload onto the device, and you can use it as a PC if you wanted, but then it's an interactive screen as well. Ahmed, you're welcome. Carl, thanks, dude. Create, not destroy. I have the same Wacom, as big as yours. It's big and brilliant. Thanks, bud. They are wicked, though. I've got to say, for industry standard work, guys, Wacom, you want to head to Wacom. Wacom's got great products. Kind of feels like Jim Lee. Yes, David, exactly that. Caroline, your Dark Knight picture is sick. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Cool. Yes, so gesture drawings, guys. That's another thing to really keep an eye on. Is your gesture drawings are really important to get the image put together. So you probably guessed, he's probably one of the characters that I've always drawn and I've always loved since I've started artwork, and my uncle introduced me to artwork. So he's one of my inspirations. My uncle is an amazing artist. He's been doing, as soon as I saw him draw, I was like, I want to be able to do that. And he taught me the ways. He told me to practice. He showed me his images. I traced his images and I continued. And yeah, I've loved art ever since, and comic book artwork as well. I still collect to this day. And guys, so what I'm doing right now is loose gestures, so just to help me guide my drawing in the way I want. And then you're going to see what I do with the layers, because that's when it comes all together. So yes, I'm going to draw my boy in blue, my Superman, my favourite character, one of my favourite characters, but it's still Batman. Bruce Wayne still beats it, but I always change depending on what story comes out. Izaj, yeah, that's right. That's the best way. Learning the human anatomy is so important, and it helps so much when it comes to drawing characters that wear spandex all the time. It's quite difficult. If you don't understand the body or scene, you've got to, you're going to visualize that image before you actually pop it onto doing the artwork. It's so important that you get to do that, because you don't want it looking out of place. You want it to be eye-catching. So you're going to have your iconic hero like dead in the middle of the page, because you want to see how much that character shines. So it's so important that you get the layout of the page right. That's the main part. Your brush, guys, the brush that you use in Photoshop or Procreate is another important one as well. You want to be able to have your own take on your artwork, and this is where trying to find your own style comes into play, and it's so important when it comes to doing that as well. Yeah, really important, guys, that when you pick in the tools that you're using, it really helps your artwork flourish more. It makes your artwork, that because you've picked the right brush, your artwork's going to come out amazing. And as I said at the beginning of this, was to practice your line work. It's so important, and I've realized over the years, the more I've practiced on my line work, I knew how to do art. I loved doing paper and pencil drawings, working on canvases, but when it came to digital art, as you saw, if I go to this, it makes your artwork pop so much. And that is just I can break this sketch down, because you'll see, oh wow, the background made that stand out. If I take the background out and the image by itself, I don't know, it doesn't give you that pop that you want. So finding different types of brushes to work with and different elements to make your artwork push out, you're gonna love to bits. It's really something that you want to play around with and have fun with. With the world of digital, you could do so much. It's unbelievable. You could stay on an image for a whole day and not know that 8 hours have gone by and you're still on the same drawing, but because you're having so much fun with it. I think that's the element of digital artwork, is that how creative and how fun it is now. You're going to be able to create so much more on a different level. It's going to be mad. I'm currently learning blah blah blah. Ooh, David, my favorite comic book variant cover artist at the moment is Shannon Meir. David, let me know which covers they've been doing at the moment, so I can see which ones I got in my collection. Another thing I was going to say, guys, is remember, keep yourself hydrated. Make sure you're taking regular breaks, because remember, you're looking at a 4K screen, or you're looking at your iPad or your laptop when you're doing these drawings. You need rest. Your eyes need rest. So sometimes push away from it and take a little 2-minute break or so, which will help out. Let's go to... This was a piece I did yesterday, guys. And I'm going to get into showing you guys a art piece I'm going to work on for you guys, so you guys can see my process and what I do. But this was one I did yesterday. I'm actually really proud of this one. And I was really excited to share this with you guys. If you guys want to see a close-up of this image, make sure you check out on Instagram. It's Kibla Ahmed Art, and it's up on that page as well. Let me see. What's going on? Transmission. Alright guys, I'm going to get back to this gesture drawing so you guys can see the process of what I'm doing, and I'm going to turn my camera off for a moment just so that you guys can see what I do when I drop another layer on the top. Thank you very much, Gilman. Guys, I can't thank you guys enough for all joining in. It has been an absolute pleasure. And I'm not going to lie to you guys, I was nervous I was so nervous. I was telling my little girl and my wife that, damn, I go on Instagram live all the time, and now I'm doing a stream to a whole load of people that are not physically kind of here, so it's a bit of a different world at the moment now, that I'm still quite nervous about it. Should I do angry soups? Yeah, let's do an angry soups. Guys, you're going to be talking about style, and style is pretty important. Well, no, actually, you know what? Sorry. You're going to find your own style, and that's always important. But you're going to replicate other people's work to learn your own way. So it's important that you guys get to practice drawing other people's drawings. I think it's important that you get inspired by other people's artwork, and that you take your time and find your niche in what you love doing, basically. It's so important that you don't want to end up doing a piece that you spent hours on and you literally hate it to bits because you haven't, I don't know, you just got lost in the moment and lost the original thought process. So try it and keep it on the drawing. As I said, take regular breaks. Don't get stuck on here too long. I would advise, guys, that you guys practice drawing eyes, eyebrows, hair, and finding tips and tricks that will make your artwork better. I've kind of realized that if I do less lines, I can work the image out in the way I want. Frida, from my knowledge, yes. So you could always come back and check this out. It's going to be on Punch Records page. But yeah, it will be all on there for you guys to check out later on. Create, not destroy. I used to work in the Forbidden Planet years ago in London. My favorite artist was... Okay, cool. Brian Bollard. Brian... is that Boland? Yeah, he's actually really good. Let me just quickly check his work now. I think I know what cover he's done. Brian Boland. This is pretty cool, guys. I think I'm going to get used to doing this a lot more. British artist. Oh, wow. Okay, cool. He's done some really cool work. Wow. Judge Dredd, Batman, Wonder Woman. He's got a nice catalogue of work that he's done. Awesome. I'll check out more of his work. There you go. Guys from Punch Records. They're going to put it up later on. I'm going to continue on this Superman little sketch. And I'm going to move on to another drawing, guys, so that you guys get to see more of the process as well. I'm going to talk to you about my style and what inspired me, and artists that have inspired me. Like I've already said, my uncle played a big part of my art journey as I was growing up. He played a massive part. He had a favourite artist himself, which was Jim Lee, who I got to meet, luckily. Excuse me. It was early 2020, and it was at the Birds of Prey premiere. So shout outs to the Warner Brothers UK and DC UK Comics for inviting me. That was absolutely awesome. Shout outs to the Geeker still as well. That guy has... we've had some awesome adventures together because of him. I've got to do some really cool stuff in the comic book world and comic book movies as well. So yeah, that was a massive day, because I got to, I think it was Jimmy was there. You got Grant Morrison from DC Comics and Jim Lee. Jim Lee is probably the 90s, the best artist in the 90s that came out for Marvel Comics, and he is a artist, and hold up, he's how can I get that wrong? So he's chief creative officer at DC Comics, and he still draws Batman as well. Oh, there we go. Hopefully I haven't. I've got to be careful of what I'm pressing here. But yeah. So Jim Lee, Todd Knock. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Todd Knock. He did Spider-Man. He's done some Superman comics. He's worked for both Marvel and DC. His artwork inspired me massively when it came to on the social media scene. His work is just simplistically amazing, and he has a really good art channel as well, which helped me along my art journey to kind of work on the type of art that I do. I mean, I absolutely love comic book drawing, but I just felt like it came to a point where I found it difficult because my style didn't change. And over the years, I've had to adapt from moving from paper and pencil to working on digital. And that was pretty hard for me, guys. I genuinely didn't like how the technology worked. I was probably, as much as we love technology, it's become massive part of the work we do, and creativity when it comes to social media as well. If you're a content creator, I just couldn't do it, and then I took the plunge, guys, and here we go. I'm doing a digital art class, which is brilliant. It's absolutely awesome. Yes, David, I remember you did see me at Shazam. Let's transition to another scene, so you guys don't get to. You don't have to see my pretty face. I will continue drawing this image, and so you guys get to see. I don't want to bore you too much, but layers, guys, is so important, because once I remove that, as you can see, it's more of a simple, like really simple image. Yeah. Thanks, Bradley. Sam Harrison, it's really important that you said that. I've always practiced with Photoshop, and you're right, Illustrator will have more brushes, and a lot of illustrators still use. I do use it sometimes. I just find the features of Photoshop much more easy for me to use, because when I used to do photo manipulation, when I used to work for Jessop's, and when I was in photography and videography, I tend to use Photoshop more often. I just find it much more of a comfortable. It was an easy transition for me, basically, because I already knew the program. But I do use Illustrator sometimes when it comes to creating logos, when I'm doing vector files. I just feel like for comic book stuff, for me personally, I've really enjoyed using. I really enjoyed using Photoshop. All right, guys. That is the lines done. Now I'm going to jump into dropping some colours, which I know some people were excited to see. I'm going to give you a little bit of a story while I fill this up with colours. And guys, keep an eye out on the layers, because each colour will represent a different layer on the image. and I'm going to talk about that as well. But what I'll do is I'm going to go through a bit of my journey in the art world as well. I stepped away from it for a little while. That was due to some circumstances, and 15 years almost, you know. I didn't do art for 15 years. I think I stopped when I was 16. I stopped reading comics when I was 16 years old, and I stopped doing artwork, and I don't know, I didn't enjoy it no more. I think it came to a point where other parts of life got a bit more exciting, and I lost the love for it. But 15 years later, on the dot, I came running back to it. It's been the best part of my life, and it's really, I don't know, it's come full circle. Like, I'm going to share like my greatest achievements with you guys, because I have got to share my artwork over the years online, and so, you know, the end game is to try and get your front cover or your artwork in the Marvel and DC universe comic books, but for me it was to get the chance to, let's show you this pretty face again, was this, and I'm hoping you guys can get to see that. There we go. I got it the right way. So this is really, I hold this quite close to me, quite dear to me. This was done on an iPad. You wouldn't believe it. It's a storybook for my daughter Alara, and it's one of my greatest achievements. It's something that I've always wanted to do, my own comic book, and I've done comic artwork for other people, but to have your own stamp on something is so important. It's a personal goal. So remember, guys, always have little goals. It doesn't have to be a massive one. I know you work towards a big goal, but for me personally, this was a massive goal for me, and for my little girl to have something, because at the end of the day we all want to leave a little bit of a legacy, and this was important to me. So guys, check this out. This is Alara. It's Journey to the Moon, and it's a book based on my daughter traveling into space, and I even got it printed, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I've got to really mess around with backgrounds, drawing big borders, and just having really like good fun with it. It's not exactly your comic book superhero stuff, but if you see some of the imagery, it's just too good. It's one of my favorites. I love it to bits. This is Us. I gave the story away. This is when she goes to sleep, but she actually dreamt all of it. It's all about imagination, guys. Big imaginations. Keep that big imagination. And then even in the book, you see the sketches that I've done, the outline sketches, which is the important part to it, guys. Like, remember I'd said about gesture drawing. If you draw your gesture drawings, you're gonna get it. You're gonna get your image right. Hold up, let me grab one. So this is some of the gesture drawings and the ideas that I had on there. So yeah, it's one of my big parts. One of the big things. David, I don't think Jim Lee's left, you know. I think he's still there, from my knowledge. Izaj, hopefully I pronounced, or Ijaz, hopefully I pronounced that right. And I hope you do create your own comic. It's such a great pleasure to do that. I've been working on one, but I cannot share at the moment, so I have to keep that under the lid. There's too many was it NDAs? Too many things I've signed off that I can't do and say much. So for now, it's just a project. But let us get back to the drawing. Bradley, thanks, dude. I've never used that, Ijaz. I use Fire Alpaca. I'm not sure what that is. I haven't tried that. Something I should try though. Alright, let's go. We're going to drop some colours on here, guys. So, remember what I said about layers? Layers is really important. And, guys, always remember, having a good colour palette helps out massively. I'm going to change the sizing on this. That didn't work out. Let's get down here a bit. Skin tone, skin tones, skin tones. It's one thing you guys are going to learn is colors, guys. Colors are so important. And brush size. Oh, not too big. There we go. So you guys can use the fill tool if you want to. I am going straight into drawing like I'm coloring in a coloring book. I've always loved this process. I find it relaxing, keeps me calm. We're gonna go through here. Gonna use the rubber. Well, I'm excited to see how this turns out. Here we go, another layer. Let's get at that royal blue. Brush size. Guys, remember on the brush size you can change the thickness, the amount of ink that goes on the page as well. And the style of the brush as well. So that's, as I said before, and I keep stressing, make sure you guys have that planned out, that you've got the right brushes you guys want to use when it comes to sketching, because you start sketching with the wrong brush on the wrong image, on the wrong file size, you're going to notice a really big difference. So you can make your artwork as clean as you want, and as you saw from my previous artwork, I have gone from staying in the lines to doing all sorts of crazy artwork now. I've realized that art is going to be something that's in your style. It's going to represent the mood you're in at the time, and even when it comes to comic book drawing, yes, you have to stay within some guidelines, but it doesn't bother me as much now. I feel like it gives the art piece a bit more of a character, and I love that. It's so important that I can be. It's my artwork. It's gonna satisfy you at the end of the day. If you're getting it to the standard that you want it in, then make sure you're happy about that, guys. Don't let anybody or anything discourage you when it comes to. You can get feedback and you can get opinions. At the end of the day, it's your art piece. You decide and be happy with that. The world we live in right now, it is a very cold, dark place, and yes, you're gonna get your bad parts and negativity in there. But if you love art and you want to practice art, you'll find this deep relaxation in it, and that moment to take you away from the world, guys, is so important. I've learned that over the years. Art keeps me calm, takes me away from the world we're in, and it's a difficult one at the moment with COVID happening at the moment. So I hope you guys are all well and safe and keeping healthy. The most important part is keeping healthy. Guys, wow, some questions come through. Let's do this. Henry, give me a shout, dude. You can see my Instagram in the corner there. Drop me a message or drop me an email. My email is linked to that account as well. And let's talk, man. Let's talk comics, because I love them. All right. I have David. I have a lot of ideas, but sometimes find it hard to get it on the page. Have you thought about doing a Kickstarter comic to help fund the series? David, I haven't thought about that yet. A lot of people have actually asked me if I'm gonna start something up like that. It is something that I am looking into, and I'm hoping if I find out more, I will let you guys know. You guys will know. The first place I kind of announce things is on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll find out if I do start a Kickstarter page. With David, to help you with ideas, honestly, as I said, get that notepad, man, and just scribble away. And sometimes I've realized when I'm on a call at work, or when I'm doing a consultation with a client, that I will doodle. I do listen, but I will doodle, and then while I'm doodling on that notepad, I realize that I have an idea that's come up, and it could be something small. It doesn't have to be amazing. As long as it can represent what I want to do, then that's the important part for me. So guys, with colouring, remember it's always dropping the flat colours first, and you could use the fill tool. The reason why I don't use the fill tool as much is it takes away my line work and sketching, which I enjoy the most about drawing, is doing the line work and the sketching part of it. There we go. So what do we do? Do dark blue hair for the hair. It always does have a kind of a bluish tint to it. Layers, guys. I'm always going to remind you about layers. Here we go. Let's get in a bit closer. But I'm gonna work on something else straight after, as it is my favourite character. As he is one of my favourite characters. I'm gonna do a Batsy one for you guys. What do you think, guys? While you guys are in the chat, do you guys want the laser red eyes for Soups, or do you want me to give him his blue eyes? Let me know in the comments, guys. Oh, sorry, in the live chat. Alright, as you can see, I have dropped my flat colours. And exciting times. Alright, here we go. We've got more questions here. I do interior design. Oh no, sorry. Kickstarter. It just, that's understandable. And yep, pronounce my name right. I use Fire because it's free. Okay, cool. Do you use Photoshop Mask? I always find it complicated or tiresome. Henry, as you can see in my layers, as I said, using Mask is really good, and it does help layer the image itself. But as a person who uses paper and pencil all the time still, I tend to just keep each layer separately, and then I use the transparency between all of them to go for it. Okay. Frida, I do interior design. I'm trying to learn how to do my illustrations better, such as people. I too prefer Photoshop. I find Illustrator tedious and complex sometimes. It is, dude. That's why I never went to that side. I have always stuck on Photoshop or Procreate, which helps out massively. Henry, I will not warmed up to Illustrator as I would like. Illustrator is it's a difficult one, guys. You have to take some time into it. But remember, if it's something that you're passionate about, then you're gonna do it anyway. And it's so important that don't let a software stop you from passion. And if it's something that is needed and you want to learn it, then go for it. If not, I'm going to stick to Photoshop. I'm happy with Photoshop. Alright, so everybody's agreed to red laser eyes. Cool. Red laser eyes. Everybody wants red laser eyes. Cool. Let me add in the shading, because this is where the image starts to stand out and pop. David, I can try and help you get in touch with Marvel and DC. And his manager has become friends with, help you for future work. David, Sort it out. That'd be great. Yeah, that'd be awesome. That'd be good. Give me a shout. Let me know. Drop me a message on Instagram. Oh man, that tea's gone cold. Sorry guys. Alright, let me bring my beautiful face back so you guys can see me geek out. I'm going to show you some of my favourite comic books. Actually, let's transition to second screen. Because I did say I'm going to add layers. So I'm going to add layers, and then I'm going to show you some of my favourite comic books and books that inspired me when it came to doing artwork as well. So I'm going to give you guys those tips. Let me add some shading to Soup's hair and go from there, guys. A massive thank you for everybody who's joined in. You guys are absolutely awesome. Guys, make sure you guys go follow Punch Records and Gallery37. They're the guys that put this together. I can't thank them enough for giving me this opportunity to share my passion in comic books and comic book artwork. It's just it's absolutely amazing. And you know what, while I'm doing this, I need to get the picture for the gram, right? There we go. If you wanted to see the setup, guys, check out my Instagram page, and it's in one of my stories, and you'll get to see it. Alright, don't want to get distracted. Let's drop in the shading. Alright, so with the shading, I'm going to use a slightly softer brush. I've opened up a new layer, and that layer is going to be on top of the colours. I'm going to do a little test now. So it's going to be like a dark grey. Brush size is 35. Let's see how that comes out. There we go. That's worked out nicely. What I'm going to do, guys, just imagine the light coming from this side. In front of Soup's. Kind of right to the right hand side. Left hand side, sorry. So all the shading is going to go around here. It's so important to get that, to remember that, because it helps when it comes to doing shading. Now, people like doing it when they're inking, like I've done on the hair, but because we're working with layers, I am going to use a soft brush and drop in the shading myself. Depending on what equipment you're using, the Wacom works with pressure, so the darker the lines, the harder I push on the actual pen, it gives me darker lines. Now, I'm not really liking that, so I'm going to go up and get a better brush that's a bit more harsh to get the lines I want, and give it that. This is where that comic book feel jumps in. And I'm working with the lighting that's coming up on that side. So it's got his little bum chin. We've got shading underneath the nose, a bit on here, around here. Yes, you guys wanted laser eyes. I'll get that in there. So this is just shading around the eyes, head. Remember I said at the beginning of the video, practice all your lines. This helps massively when it comes to cross-hatching and sketching. And as you can see, the lines are quite harsh right now, but don't worry about that. Just keep watching what I'm doing. That will change dramatically. Sorry guys, I would have had some music playing in the background, but YouTube, pretty tough. You saw a little mistake there, you can always rectify that. I'm going to keep that Superman pumping very bright. I love that. So as I said guys, I'm going to do 2 sketches. I'm going to do one on Batman as well. I've had this idea on my head today. I was like, I want to share with you guys something on the spot that came into my head that I wanted to share with you guys. So I'm looking forward to that. Guys, remember, you're seeing me squiggle all sorts of lines here. This is my style of artwork, so this is what I do to make my image pop and what I like about what I do. You will find your way, and honestly, take your time. Don't rush. You'll find your idea, and you're gonna love it when you do. So here we go, guys. I'm gonna multiply and drop the transparency on this. Say about, there we go, about 27%. So what you're gonna notice on the screen that it goes down. And then I'm going to drop some white highlights. So I'm going to, again, with this one, I'm going to drop a softer brush. Get to the white, open up a new window. Go down the shadow. We're going to drop some highlights, guys. Now, highlights make your image pop. Remember I said that the lighting was coming around from this side. Now, I'm dropping that light for that. And again, I'm going to change the transparency on that as well. I'm going to add another layer, guys, and I'm going to go in with slightly, so with that last layer, that white layer, I'm going to drop the opacity down a bit. And then I'm going to go in with a new layer. I'm going to get a bit of a harsher brush, and I'm going to take the brush size down a little bit, and then I'm going to give it harsher lines, so you can tell where I'm doing that. Guys, if I go silent, let me know. I'm just getting into the drawing. I'm going to drop that opacity down on that. There we go. Okay, so as we agreed, laser red eyes. Let's do this. Alright, another layer. Let's go for like a darker red. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is change my brush again. Let's see. That looks too much of a blood red. Let's change it slightly brighter. Get the brush. So one good thing about Photoshop you can do, which is pretty cool. So let's do this. So add another layer. Gonna drop color. So I'm gonna drop black background. So guys, what I'm doing right now is I've dropped the black background, but I'm selecting all the layers, and I'm going to press Control T, and I'm going to, let's caught onto that, go back. Oh, I don't want that. There we go, Control T, make it bigger, drop it lower. Oh, what happened there? Drop it lower, just to fill the image up. I am going to drop some clouds in the background, so I'm going to pick another brush. Thanks, bud. Let's drop. So in the filter section, I'm going to go to render, lens flare, and I am going to drop a little lens flare behind soups. So as you can see, the image popped out. And I'm going to do something interesting here. Let's see if I can get this right. It's red. Gonna go to filter and drop in a lens flare on the image. Oh, can't do it in the selected item. So guys, what I'm going to try and do, if I can get it right, I'm going to try and add a lens flare for Superman's eyes. I want to get it in the right place. But what I'm going to do is going to put a gradient map on there. And what the gradient map is going to allow me to do is change the color of it. Boom! Now that's going to let me, if I got it right, that's right, screen. Here we go, and we have got ourselves some Superman red eyes. Hold on. And I'm going to copy that layer and drop it on the other side. So enter. Alright, cool. I'm going to drop that opacity so we can get rid of some of the lines, as you can see. Maybe go into overlay. Not overlay, dodge. Just working with the layers, guys. So what I'm going to do, try and get rid of some of that, the harsh lines, the red lines, because the lines stop when the lens flare come out. I'm going to try and get rid of that. I've just done that, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. So you just get a brush and you change the opacity level and kind of blur it, and hopefully that makes sense. It does. So when you add a layer, can you choose whether you want to color or draw on top of that, on top and the bottom? Yes, you can do. That's fine. You can do that at all. Okay. You know what, guys? I'm gonna move on to the next image. But that was the basic layout from something that's kind of like a basic sketch into an imagery. Let me do this. Bring it closer so you guys can see it. Alright, one more thing to do. I'm gonna add there we go. Some red laser eyes. His pupils are shown. Bit of feedback. There we go, man. That's Soups with laser red eyes. Ah, I'm excited to share that. Alright, cool. So, as I said, that was a Joker piece I did yesterday. That was a Batman piece. Let's close some of these files. Save. Always remember to click save. That's so important. David, hopefully, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop them up onto my Instagram page and hop them into my Etsy store, or I'll let you guys know if I've got prints available for these. But yeah, definitely. So the last thing an artist does, which is probably my favorite bit, is drop his signature. How important is that on an image? Man, guys, I'm actually overwhelmed by everybody who's joined today, and I can't thank you guys enough. The overwhelming messages I got on social media the past couple of days has been absolutely awesome, and me being able to share my passion with you guys is so important. And it's just to get you guys in the groove of finding your passion, your happiness in comic book artwork and illustration, and finding easier ways of doing it as well. Because what you're going to learn in the process is that took me probably less than 30 minutes, that you'd be able to do a cool drawing like that in 30 minutes and have it ready to print or post or share with friends and family and get excited about it. And that's one of the fundamental things that I get excited about, is being able to do artwork and then share it with friends and family and get their feedback on it. So I absolutely love the fact that you guys have had the chance to come join me and do this. I'm going to start on another drawing. I'm going to do a quick Q&A section, as I said, around 7:30, 7:45. But I'm going to jump straight into the next image and show you guys another layout of something really quick, something really dynamic to look at, and something probably you want to print out and put up on your own wall just to be excited about. I did tell you that I got to meet Jim Lee. I've got to meet several artists. A couple of years back, I was lucky enough to meet John Romita Jr., Frank Miller, Andy Kubert, and so many other artists that came to the UK. I genuinely miss Comic Cons. It's one of my places where I get to geek out with friends and family and meet all my friends there as well. It's upsetting that we didn't get to see or have a Comic Con last year with the current crisis at the moment, and I don't think we'll see one in a while. But it was, yeah, it's an emotional one. When you get to meet the artists that you love and you grew up with, you realize how much they play a part, their artwork, their comics play a part in your world. I didn't realize 15 years of coming out of the comic book industry and coming out of artwork that I'd be able to come to a point now where I get to share my artwork online, but get to share my passion with you guys. And yeah, it's been a great journey. So here we go, comic books, guys, and books to help you out when it comes to drawing. Marvel, Vanishing, Public, Jack Kirby, Darwin Cook. Oh, there's so many. Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, there we go, Alex Ross, and Jim Lee. Alright, there we go. These books are heavy. Oh, hopefully I don't drop it. Oh. Alright, let's go through the first book. Let me grab a quick drink. Before I start my next piece, which won't take too long, guys, we'll be able to do a Q&A session straight after. Gonna go through this. So this here is Jim Lee's Icons. This, oh my god, this book is absolutely amazing. And guys, if you don't follow Jim Lee on Instagram or Twitch, this guy is like the guy who draws Batman. Look at this guy. So my uncle took massive inspiration from his artwork and his detail and the way he draws. Guys, there's one thing that he always preaches about practicing, and when it comes to getting your own style, is get a mirror, and when you're trying to learn how to draw faces, draw your own face. I mean, I know Superman, I don't have that jaw that Superman's got, but it was something that really helped me when it came to placing the actual objects and shapes is so important. And Jim Lee talks about that in his book, so check that out. That's one book which inspires me. I look at it from time to time. Another one, famous artist named Alex Ross. Now his work is out of this world. It's realism with a superhero fantastic look to it. It's absolutely amazing. This is another book with his artwork, his process, what he goes through. Look, this guy uses, so if you can see there, that's a toy model that he sketches from. Now that is really important when it comes to doing drawings. You can buy little models. I've got a few hanging around that I could look for reference and put a light next to it and work out shading. And yeah, it's key, guys. The next one is an artist who's not with us at the moment, Darwin Cook. I wish I got to meet him. I got to meet Jim Lee. Alex Ross is next on my list to meet, but Darwin Cook, he is an absolutely wonderful artist. His simplistic lines and colors and the way he tells a story with his artwork is just it's absolutely beautiful, and his line work is just gorgeous. There's another artist, I don't have a book of his name is Dez Taylor. He's another amazing artist that does comic book artwork as well. There's another one, Jack Kirby. This is Pencils and Inks, guys. This is a really good book about Jack Kirby, the king of comics, his journey with Marvel and DC, and it's got most of his pencil sketches in here. And I always look at this book for references. Dynamic, excuse me, my voice is going. I've been talking for almost over an hour. Sorry, guys. Dynamic figure drawing. Guys, I know Ijaz, you were talking about is it Ijaz? Sorry if I got the name wrong. This book is going to help massively when it comes to drawing figures. Check it out. It's really important for dynamic poses. And then Vanishing Point. This talks about backgrounds and your perception when you're drawing on a page. And you're going to see that on my next drawing. That's what I'm going to try and teach the process of that as well. And then the one and only. Never got to meet the dude. I wish I did. I wish I didn't have it. I have a little bit of a regret that I didn't get the chance to meet this dude, but he will always live on in my world. And that's the great Stan Lee. How to Draw Marvel Comics. Guys, it's one of probably the biggest books when it comes to laying out and artwork, and you get all the tips and tricks when it comes to cropping images and how much work you put into it. It's so important. They talk about backgrounds and putting scenery into the image, and I'm going to show you some of that in the next art piece. So let's transition to the next screen. Guys, if you want to see more of my artwork, and I do live video streams on there as well when it comes to doing artwork on my Wacom or in my notepad, check it out. Ask questions there. I'm always there to give tips. I'm going to go grab some water, guys. Give me a second. I'll be right back. And I'm back. Sorry guys, I really had to quickly grab some water. My throat was killing me there for a moment. Let's take another picture for the gram. Sorry guys, I'm doing this while I'm live. That's so rude of me. Guys, I'm still going to thank you lot for all joining. You guys are absolutely amazing. And I hope you enjoy the next sketch I'm going to do. So let's save this one. Soups. I'm going to have that up on my Instagram, guys. Save that. Guys, you just saw a bad habit that I do there. I don't name my files. Make sure you name your files so it's easy to find. I've got a few windows open. That. Those lines. Gestures. Remember, you have a bunch of these ready, you're going to be ready to do the next art piece. So just trying to work out what gesture I can use for the next image. Alright, you know what guys, I'm going to use a gesture. Hopefully the idea stays the same, and we are going to go straight into the next art piece. So if you guys have got any questions, fire away guys. Don't be afraid. Apologies if I get names wrong. And here we go. Here's a gesture. Let's see if I get this right. So guys, I'm picking a light color and I'm picking my favorite brush. You can use the pencil tool if you wanted. I'm not going to use that. I am going to try something different. I did have an original pose there, but now I'm going to try something completely different. But let's give that a go so you guys can see the idea I go for. So autonomy, as I said, having these gestures ready speeds up the process of drawing. So even if you do loads of gestures on a piece of paper, scan that piece of paper in like I have, or you could download them, guys. We live in a digital era now where you can just download gestures, but then you can add your own style to it. And remember, that's the main part of it, is adding your own creative skill to it. Remember, Photoshop, Illustrator will allow you to do so much to manipulate the image to make it your own. There we go. That's a Hopefully you guys can see that. So that's a quick Batman sketch. It's gonna look like scribbles now, guys, but you'll see what I do. Now I've dropped a new layer in to do the actual artwork on top, so that will have tight lines on it, and as you can see here, I've done the moon here, so I'm gonna do something in reverse for you guys, which eventually you guys will learn this in your time when it comes to doing artwork. And sometimes you have to work kind of backwards, so you're going to see that now. You're going to be like, Kibbs, what the hell are you doing? But because of the imagery that I want to work with right now, I'm hoping it does the job. I'm just picking the brush size. This is where the illustration part kicks in, guys, because now I'm working with shapes, so shapes is going to be really important. I'm just going to change my brush again. Get back into that. Get soft. Get back into that. Gonna work with some lines here. Gonna be building. Guys, remember, try and study images as well. It's so important that you guys get the chance to do that. It will make your artwork pop and shine. Now I'm gonna zoom in. And originally I wanted the bats there, but I feel like the bats are gonna take me away from the drawing. Now, pick the right brush you want. You're gonna go in tight with the line. So you guys are gonna find this really weird, guys, that I'm doing it this way, but trust me, if the imagery comes out right, it's gonna look awesome. Everybody must be like, what the hell is Kibs doing right now? And I'm hoping you guys will get the idea of what I'm trying to do here. So I'm trying to make it very easy for you guys, that you can work with just certain lines in an image to get the art piece you want. And you're going to start seeing me rub out some of this as well, just so that you can see what I'm working with the black background. Change the brush. Guys, remember, I'm freestyling right now, and it could come out wrong, but I'm hoping it comes out alright. But this is where the magic's going to start happening, hopefully. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's getting there. I think I need to change something now. Right. Sometimes you will have to adapt to a situation just to get the idea you want. Now, sorry guys, I'm in the zone right now, so have some questions ready for me. I think this sketch is going to go into the Q&A, but I will multitask because I want to be able to, if you guys got some burning questions regarding, well, anything, let me know and I will answer them. My little girl's birthday tomorrow and she's already singing happy birthday. Hopefully you guys are seeing the idea. So I'm going for something really simple here, and I'm letting shapes and colors do the work for me, so I don't have to implement so many lines in the image. I'm going to go in there with a darker detail. Let's go change the background a little bit, add some darker cloudy effect in there. Mistake. What's happening there? What I'm going to do now, guys, with like a grey, I'm going to go in there with a brush and I'm going to start adding some like shadow details. So originally I used the white. I can see that the white contrast has made it a bit too much. I'm going to go into the background a bit and add the grey elements on top to kind of tone it down a bit so it doesn't look so sharp. And the brush size is humongous. Let's get back to this. Add a new layer so it will tone it down a little bit, give it a bit of a background merger. And guys, remember, I'm letting the lines do the work for me. That's over the years when you realize, well, you know what, it could take a couple of months. If you're drawing 5-10 minutes a day, then you'll find ways of making your image pop, and you'll notice when you're making mistakes. And like I have during this live stream, nothing is perfect. I'm gonna make mistakes. I tried to be ambitious and try something different, and I would have said yes, it's backfired on me, it didn't come out exactly the way I want, but I'm working with it. And as you can see, hopefully adding the detail to here now will change the imagery a bit, because now I'm adding a different type of shade to this. Nose, chin, mistake, neck, jaw, that symbol, chest will be here, his utility belt, cool. So as you can see, that shade in grey, for me personally, it's done the job and it's made it a bit more abstract. Does that make sense? Okay, let's find the details here. Let's fix this up a bit. Shoes, a bit of heel, knees. Batman wears bat trunks. Knees. Bit of a bend there. That's your perspective, and heels, You know what? I am starting to like how that's looking now, and I'm not sure if you guys can see what I've gone for in this one. It's I'm really enjoying that. There we go. David, can we get prints? Of course you can, dude. As soon as I get up on my Instagram, I'll let you guys know what I'll have available for prints and let you guys know. The bottom one, then you can do flash. Flash? Yeah, I will do, definitely. What was the first comic you've done? It was an independent comic. If I can find it. Let's find some of my comic book work. There we go. If I can find it. So it's one of the characters. Hopefully you can see that. I'll put what I'll do in my Q&A session. I'm going to show you that it's got some of my artwork. It was for an independent comic company. It was just my first ever comic book character. It was a character called Jazz. He was like a hitman in a comic book. It was my first cover, and it was a mixture of paper, pencil, and pen, and paint. Sorry, so I used paint on that one. So that was one. Would love to see you draw a Deathstroke picture. I will eventually draw one. Bradley, how do you stay motivated to finish a design instead of moving on to the next one with the last one half done? Bradley, wow. You know what? That is really a hard question. You know, I really genuinely just persevere forward. I kind of push forward. I don't kind of like letting. I'm that person that gets things done. That's my issue. I know if I've got a project on, I want to finish that work. The thing is, I've got so many unfinished jobs. Well, not jobs, but not even client work. I've got so many projects, my personal projects, that I haven't been able to finish off because I've been doing clients' works. And that's where sometimes it can get deep. Everybody's going to have their bad days. There's going to be days where you won't be wanting to do any artwork and you're down in the dumps. But if it's a passion project, you will be able to strive and push forward and get that piece of work done. I've always seen it as I'm an early person. I get up quite early. I like to prep my day, so I want to know what artwork I'm going to be doing on that day as well. So I really try and push forward and get loads of tasks done during the day, so at least I know that I've got things done, basically. But it's a hard one because we all have our bad days. It's never an easy road. But my little girl, I wake up in the morning, get my morning cuddle, and then I push forward. I mean, at the end of the day, it's my bread money. It's my food I need to feed and survive. But it's passion. The main thing of it is passion. It's always I have a love for this fantasy world, and I love where it's taken me on my journey, and I hope that it can take other people on that journey as well. There we go, just changing the colour on this. But yeah, hopefully I haven't waffled and babbled on. I just try to keep positive and motivated as much as I can. Oh damn, look at that. Something interesting just happened there. There we go. Drop that. See, guys, when you play with layers, something amazing can happen, which just did, and I actually kind of like that, because if I zoom out, it gives it a bit of a red tint. But what I do want is I want to get rid of. So let's bring that back to normal. Lighten. You can see the details. Yeah, guys, I didn't realize it's 7:40. If you guys have some questions, I want to thank everybody that stayed on the stream. You guys are absolutely awesome. I cannot thank you enough. And again, I can't thank the guys at Punch Records. You guys are absolutely awesome. Gallery37 for putting this together. It's been such a pleasure to try and share my passion, my artwork. And this is my first stream on a 2-hour base to try and go through as much as I can. I probably missed out some things, so if you guys have questions, hit me up on Instagram, which is Kibla Ahmed Art. Make sure you're following the guys at Punch Records. They're doing some great things at the moment, and they've got so many good masterclasses. Check them out. It will inspire you, and that's what we're here to do. Let's see what we got. Any questions coming? Happy birthday to the little one. Thanks, bud. Kibs, it's been awesome. Ahmed, thank you so much, bro. It means the world. Thanks for everybody else who's joined in. I haven't finished. I'm going to continue doing this sketch. If you guys have questions, please drop that message. Drop that message. But I'm not going to come off this. Well, I'm going to continue on this sketch. I do need dinner, guys. I am starving. I wonder what you guys are having for dinner. Have you had dinner? Have you been having dinner while you watch this? Ah, nice. You know what? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be. What's the word? I'm gonna be brave and I'm gonna do something crazy. Let's see if this works. But yeah, guys, remember, practice, practice, practice is so important. Practice is so important. That plays a big part. There's one thing with digital you can do and have so much fun with is you can get to play around with the actual image itself. Like right now, I tried something very daring and unusual because I did have something else planned, but because I was freestyling and going with the flow, I ended up creating something different, and I'm actually really happy with the way this sketch has come out. It's something so basic, it's something so easy you can do, but once you see it like on a print or just even looking at it on a computer screen, you just get excited, and that's the main thing. Ahmed, Tara Masalata, you taking the piss? You crack me up. I'm about to have brunch. So Habib, you had roast potatoes and Tara Masalata. That is awesome, dude. Would you be doing a Comic Con next year? Bradley, I'm hoping if I get a table, I would do that. I'm definitely gonna do that. Just had lamb. So making me jealous, man. You're making me jealous. Caroline, thank you for your time. Oh no, you're welcome. If I could inspire in different ways, then that's the most important part of it, and I'm happy to do that. I'm about to have brunch. Henry, where are you based? Looks amazing. Thank you so much. You're welcome, dude. Kibbs, are you able to email me the print so I can have as a background on my laptop? Of course I can, Ahmed. I'll get that sent out. Send me an email. Check out my, what do you call it? David, you're having curry goat? Oh no, curry tonight. Sorry. Okay, cool. Sam Harrison, what's with the glove? Also, the city you are based in. The glove, it helps me from resistance on the screen. So I usually use it for when I'm doing paper and pencil and painting sketches so I don't smudge. But I use it on here because it's just easy to move around on. I've noticed my skin sometimes. This is a touch screen, so my palm will activate the screen, and sometimes that will cause an issue. And I'm based in London, North London. Yeah, cool. Sorry, that was abrupt. I'm gonna add something to this, which I said I wanted to do. Let's get the colors right. Dark red. Add it up here. Completely. Let's go a bit harsh. Big broad lines. As I said, guys, make sure you follow Punch Records. They've got loads of masterclasses happening at the moment. They've got a few. I think they've got one coming up next month for producing. Make sure you check that out. That will be an awesome class. I will join in on that one as well. But they're doing great things, and if we can do loads in this time we're in at the moment to inspire, then I am all for that, guys. So I'd love to. I hope that I've inspired you in the process of doing this piece. And this is something freestyle, guys. I had something planned for you guys, but an idea came to my head, and going with your gut feeling is always the best. It's always the best. Always the best feeling. So, before I go, you guys get to see the final image. I'm going to do my signature on it. And I'm going to stay on till 8 o'clock to take any other questions. Uh, ...2021. I really hope this inspired you. Let's find a good place. Let's put that there. Really hope it inspired you, this class. It was such a pleasure. I really had fun doing this and just freestyling, because I get to create this as an idea. Now, as I said, it could take you half an hour to do an amazing piece, and it can take you less than an hour. Oh, sorry, more than an hour. It could take 8 hours. Sorry, muddling up my words right now. Let me just change this. Let's move the screen. Let's go to my big, beautiful face. My first stream. Oh my god, I'm even proud. I'm telling you guys, small goals. If you have small goals to do drawing every 5 minutes a day, reading a comic book, or copying somebody's artwork, it's all about doing little goals, little things that you can achieve. And I'm telling you, you will have so much fun. We've got Sam Harrison, based in London. Tasman, hold tight, Kibs. And Punch. Yeah, man, 100%. Big up, Punch Records. Thank you so much, guys, for having me on here and share my passion with you guys. Bradley, gut feeling over. Gut feeling over everything? Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Kibla. This was really awesome. Carl, you're the best, man. Thank you so much. Ahmed, proud of you, Kibs. Went really well. Thank you so much, Ahmed. Layla, thank you so much for spending this time with me. You guys are absolutely awesome. You guys made this happen. Honestly, you guys put the time in. You guys, I'm telling you, little goals. It's something that I preach. It's all about writing a list on the wall. Like I have, look. I wrote a list on the wall. And I said, I'm going to go through all of this. I'm going to go through my story. I'm going to let you guys know what I do. I'm going to let you know my process. And guys, this is not like the end of it. I want to do more like this. And hopefully you guys at Punch Records get in contact with me. But write a list down. It's small goals. Write a list down. Write down that I want to draw 10 minutes a day and copy an image, or I don't know, just little details. Draw lips, draw nose, draw eyes, draw hands, draw feet. As you can see there, naturally doing a pose, as I said, gesture pose. If you could do gesture poses all day, that's another thing to do as well. And then creating, guys. Implementing your ideas is so important, without a doubt. Whether it's published or non-published, self-goals are so important. And for me personally, like reading comic books it's always been about hope. Always been about hope. And if you can have hope in the things you want to do and believe in that as well, you are going to achieve it, guys. This is my biggest achievement, is getting this storybook done for my little girl. It means the world to me, and I'm going to get more done. And you guys will see more artwork as well. And hopefully in the big leagues as well. I've done work for independent comic book companies. I've done some work for big companies. But to level it down, to humble yourself, to go for the goals and reach for them, you're going to have so much fun, I'm telling you. But you know the other things, I've still got them on my goal. One cover for DC, one cover for Marvel. I will be a happy man. Definitely, without a doubt. Who else is on here? Create, not destroy. Great job. Thank you so much. Have you thought about doing tattoo designs? David, I think I did a couple of designs for a friend in Hong Kong. His name's George. Shout out to George in Hong Kong. I did a samurai one. I don't think I can... It's probably in the loft. But I did a samurai one, which I'm quite happy about. And that was one that Dez Taylor saw. Dez Taylor's another amazing artist for DC. So yeah, tattoos. I mean, it's difficult when it comes to the style of art that I do. Because tattoos, I think, is more of a fine detail piece of art. Now, my Batman image you saw earlier on in the show, probably be really good tattoo. But something like this, it's more of an art piece, avant-garde. You know, something you can stick up maybe. Front cover. It's going to be one of them. There we go. So that picture of Jazz for an independent comic book I did is based on a hitman. This is that character. But this is my paper pencil work, and I did that with paint as well. Callie, thank you for joining. It means the world. I've got some more here. So this is like some paper and pencil artwork that I've done. Spidey, black and white. We've got Star Wars. Got Bruce Lee. So guys, remember, ideas. These are ideas from years ago. Like, you know, I put them together. Daredevil, Cyclops, Superman, Rogue. I even did one of John Wick. So that's one. Let me just quickly grab one more art piece, because I know I'm cutting it tight. Oh, guys, this is the book that started my journey of 10 years ago. 15 years of being out of it, and I started drawing again. And before I jumped into digital, this is the artwork that got me back into things again. Sorry, I've got that squashed on my face. And this is a mixed media of paint, acrylic paint, watercolors, felt tip markers, Copic markers, Prismacolors, and yeah, mixture of Marvel and DC characters. Storm, one of my favorite characters. Wonder Woman. You've got Jon Stewart as Green Lantern, Bishop, Iron Man. Got Storm and Black Panther. So these, the 2-pack, that's one of my favorites as well. Spider-Man. So these are images that, you know, on piece of paper, taking my time and just drawing away. Poison Ivy, Adam West. So these are like really, these images are quite close to me, because these are images that got me on my journey, got me into digital, and kind of fell in love with it from there. And digital has changed my artwork dramatically as well, whether it's detail or colouring. It helped me with colouring and understanding colouring as well. So Black Panther, Rogue, One of my favourites. Oh man, this brings back memories looking at this. The Punisher, Furiosa. Whew, some memories. Marty McFly, I'm a big massive Back to the Future fan as well. You'll see that all over my Instagram. Nothing but Back to the Future, The Predator. Yeah, guys, I do genuinely still love drawing on paper and pencil. Sometimes I scan them in and then make them look a bit more different when it comes on the graphics tablet. But yeah, no, some good times. Definitely some good times. Muhammad Ali. Oh damn, this has got some good memories on here. Scarlet Witch. You guys looking forward to watching WandaVision? No, I am. Very excited. That's tomorrow. Oh man. Ah, emotional. This was absolutely amazing. You guys are awesome. I can't thank you enough. I can't thank the guys. I can thank the guys. No, I can't. I can't. I can. I'm getting my words all mixed up. I'm so sorry. This is the last bit. Thank you to Punch Records for putting this together. I really hope you enjoyed this and this inspired you and motivated you and to reach small goals, to reach the bigger goal. And we're always going to be pushing forward, and that's the main key of it, guys. Make sure you're always pushing forward. You are going to be able to do things that you would never believe, and I've got to do things in my journey that I would never thought I'd go through, and people I've met, and like most of them Funko Pops are signed by my favorite artists. That's another part of the story I haven't added in there. But guys, make sure you follow Punch Records on Instagram, Twitter. Follow their YouTube page. Subscribe that button. Smash that like button. It helps. Dropping comments helps. I'm telling you. If you guys watching this video later, yeah, help the page grow. And then check out my page, guys. Kibla Ahmed Art on Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. All my artwork's there. My whole journey's on there, guys. My family's journey. I'm really proud to have presented this class today, and I can't thank you guys enough. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Always giving thanks, always grateful for having chances and opportunities like this. And I hope you guys on your art journey, your illustration journey, get to experience some of the great things that I've got to do. And yeah, check it out. Check my Instagram and my Twitter and my Facebook page. Most of my geeky stuff is always up on there. And I'm going to go right to the 2-hour mark. And then I'm going to press end session. But yeah. Programs I use. Photoshop. Procreate on the iPad. I use a Wacom 22-inch Cintiq Touch. That comes with the Ergo stand I got separately. And this device. Forgot the name of this device. Which is like a control tool which helps me go backwards if I've made a mistake or zoom into the image. Or the iPad, guys, with an Apple Pencil. I use a 7th gen iPad, which I still love. It still gives me great quality images. I do need to get the Apple Pro. That will help massively. But the more jobs that come through, you know, eventually you get the things you want and the products you need to do your art. But remember, you could do anything with a simple piece of paper and a notebook. And this is where ideas, you know, that inception grows, that seed in your head, and before you know it, an image grows and ideas and dreams come true. Guys, thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch you guys up soon. One love. Peace.